Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy, the Mad Kiger, and up here today with the final part of the PlayStation 2 collection. Um, I might do like a video after this, just an overview, but I might leave that till after I've sorted all these games out and sorted my bookcase out properly. And there's a bit of consistency with these games. I'm probably going to put them all into like genre. And obviously little subgenres in between. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do it yet. Probably do it in genre. So like at the top at there where I can't really get to as easy, probably have like all like my realistic sports games and music games and dance games, games that I'm not particularly going to play. And then, for example, have all the racing games together, realistic racing games together, and then, not so realistic arcade, etc., etc. But without further ado, let's just get straight into this. First up, we have Egomania. Looks like a Tetris style Mean Bean Machine puzzle game. Finding Nemo. Underwater fish game based on the movie. The movie's really good. I do like the movie. Zone of the Enders, the original, of course, Hideo Kojima game. The second game had realistic anime cutscenes. This game has more of a CGI game graphics. But this game also included a demo of Metal Gear Solid 2. So, yeah, a lot of people brought this game for that demo. World Super Police. A police themed racing game. Tony Hawk's American Wasteland. Of course, Tony Hawk games were classic, and this one still holds up. In my opinion, every Tony Hawk game on the PlayStation 2 was really good. There wasn't really a bad Tony Hawk game. Maybe the Ride Tony Hawk game wasn't as good. Tony Hawk's Underground 2, of course, really good game. Of course, Bam Margera makes his appearance in this game again. Of course, the Underground series was awesome because it had like all these crazy vehicles you can unlock and stuff. Really above its time. UEFA Euro 2004 Portugal. I find that hilarious, that Asda sticker there. I remember when Asda used to sell PlayStation 2 games. That's why I keep it on there. Bit of nostalgia there. With the sticker, not so much the game. UFC Throwdown, made by Ubisoft and Crave Entertainment. Time Crisis 3 and Time Crisis 2. Very classic Namco arcade games. You see these in the arcade all the time. The home conversions are pretty good. They have some like exclusive modes and things, unlockables on them. Much better if you have a light gun and an old CRTV, but it would have been nice if the Wii got a complete Time Crisis collection. That would have been much better. Tony Hawk Pro Skaters 4, probably my favorite of the Tony Hawk series. I absolutely loved playing this game as a kid. I loved the all of the levels, and it was just an amazing game. Loved playing the multiplayer as well. V-Rally 3, of course, the really good Atari racing game. Of course, really awesome games on the PlayStation 1, and it took a long hiatus, and then we finally got the fourth game on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, which I don't have. Unlimited Saga. People probably would have brought this game because it included a demo for one of the Final Fantasy games. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was 11, or might have been like 10 or 9. I don't know. I hear the game isn't that good. It's a Square Enix game, but I hear it's not as good as Final Fantasy. Unreal Tournament, really a classic arena shooter. People are asking for a new Unreal Tournament on the modern consoles, but I don't know if we'll ever get that. Tokyo Extreme Racer, another race game based around Tokyo, Japanese cars and things, I guess. Escape from Buzz Buzzard's Park, Woody Woodpecker. Not many Woody Woodpecker games out there, but here's one. I love Woody Woodpecker growing up. Never played the game, mind you. Without Warning, a Capcom game. It's like it's a game. It's all about time and stuff. You have to do things quickly, I guess. Third-person shooter. Never played it. Truck Racing 2. A budget title if there ever was one. Nothing more than just truck racing. Turok Evolution. I never really played the original Turok games. They were before my time. But I did enjoy this game. I used to play this one on the GameCube quite a bit. Still a pretty good game in the Turok series. Super Monkey Ball Deluxe. Awesome games. The single player platform puzzle was really fun, but these games had amazing multiplayer party modes, and they were really fun games. And yeah, there was less in these ones, but they were very good. Dynasty Warriors 5 Empires. One of my all-time favourite Empires games. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I believe I played this one as a kid. It's a beat-em-up game. Metropolis Mania, a Natsumi game. It's like a Sim City thing, I'm guessing. I'm not really sure what kind of game it is. It kind of reminds me a little bit like Thrillville almost, but I don't know. It's a puzzle game, I'm guessing. It looks really interesting. Quite another uncommon game here as well. I was kind of surprised when I seen it. The Getaway. Didn't really play much of the original, but it's like a Grand Theft Auto style game. Fallout Brotherhood of Steel. This is a top-down game set in the Fallout universe, and it does have co-op. Have to try this one out. SWAT Global Strike Team, a Sierra branded title. SWAT is quite a well-known tactical shooter series. Motocross Mania 3. I think I might have remember playing this one on the PlayStation 1. I don't know. It's kind of like motocross with like road rage or something. Xenosaga 2. Another game that a lot of people are asking for, a HD remaster or something. I've only got the second one here, but these games are quite hard to find. Of course, JRPGs, kind of futuristic thing going on. Linda Green's Equestrian Challenge. Plenty of horse games out there. Wipeout Fusion. Never really was big on Wipeout. They're good games, but I just never really played many of them. X-Men Legends 2. Rise of Apocalypse. Again, like I said, these games are very much like Marvel Ultimate Alliance. And yeah, really good games. Lots of unlockables and RPG elements and beat 'em up style. Good games. Definitely check them out. X-Men Next Dimension. A one-on-one fighting game. It's about as average as a summer's day. Ultimate Spider-Man. I hear good things about this game. Open world Spider-Man game. You can play as Spider-Man and Venom. I believe so. Yeah, it's pretty cool. A sort of cartoony style to it. The Suffering. Another classic horror game here. Of course, the game boasted its third person and first person perspectives, depending on what you wanted. Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. These games are pretty good. I did enjoy them on the Xbox 360. Valkyrie Profile 2. Silmeria. Another Square Enix title. I hear good things about the Valkyrie Profile games. Square Enix make good games. I just never really big on those sort of games. Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge. Another hard to find game here. This game is basically, well, it's Capcom, so it's basically Devil May Cry with Nightmare Before Christmas, Jack Skeleton, basically. Kind of a hard game to find. Definitely one worth keeping an eye out for. It's not the most expensive game. Like I said, I paid £8 for it, but it's definitely a hard one to find in the wild, that is. Warriors of Might and Magic. Another very loved series. Warriors Orochi 2. Again, a combination of Dynasty and Samurai Warriors there. I love the Warriors Orochi series. Save all my wrestling games, keep them all together. X Squad. I remember having this one as a kid. It was an okay third-person shooter. Nothing too special, but it was okay. Extreme Express World Grand Prix. A train racing game. I don't really know how a train racing game would work, seeming how, you know, you're all on one rail, but maybe it's an interesting game. XS Junior League Soccer. Very terrible case there. Maybe I need to replace it. Junior League games. Victorious Boxers. Pippo's Road to Glory. Or Ippo's Road to Glory. Another boxing game there. Viet Cong Purple Haze. Another tactical shooter based around the Vietnam War. Quest for Sleeping Beauty. Liquid games. These are terrible games. Very, very bad games. Do not play them. Quake 3 Revolution. Really awesome arena style game. Of course, originally on the Dreamcast. Then we then we get into some wrestling games. We have here SmackDown, Just Bring It. Of course, SmackDown originally was on the PlayStation 1. I love the original SmackDown games. Just Bring It, of course, probably was a good game for its time. However, it doesn't hold up too well. It's quite doesn't hold up as well. But these games were awesome for their time. Lots of match types, and really, I think THQ were the better creator of the wrestling games. They really went above and beyond with what you could do in them. SmackDown, Shut Your Mouth. Again, always adding new things to them, and it was these games just had so much to them, and they're great games to go back and play. Some of them hold up, some of them don't. SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, often considered the holy grail of the PS2 wrestling games. This game basically was the precursor to the SmackDown vs. Raw games, but this game really went above and beyond with like the outdoor matches and where you could go and fight, and it was just a fantastic game. If you're going to play an old school wrestling game from the PS2 era, this is definitely one worth checking out. As is SmackDown vs. Raw. Again, what I loved about like the these early wrestling games were they weren't too simulated. They were still kind of arcadey. As they went on, they become more simulated, but they weren't terribly too simulated. And especially with SmackDown vs. Raw and even SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. These had fantastic story modes and all of these great things. But I think after these two, it really become more simulated. I didn't not like the next games. You know, we have 2006, 2007, and 2008 here. I have the rest on Xbox 360. But yeah, these games really, in my opinion, were some of the best wrestling games of all time. And even Here Comes the Pain, of course, you could throw in there. But these games just went above and beyond with all these different modes, campaign modes, unlockables, You know, whereas nowadays the wrestling games have gotten a little bit stale and, you know, lots of microtransactions and stuff, and focusing more to an online campaign rather than a good single player campaign. I mean, they do have a single player campaign, but I hear it's not as good. But still, classic wrestling games here. And yeah, I do still watch WWE every so often. Extreme Squad, a Phoenix game. I've played it and it's terrible. World War II Soldier. Excuse me. Looks kind of bland. Reckless, the Yakuza missions. It has nothing to do with Yakuza. It's just got the Yakuza missions. It's a vehicle combat kind of game, I guess. World War II tank battles. If you're into tanks, maybe try this out. I prefer Seek and Destroy. True Crime, Streets of LA. I loved this game as a kid. Unfortunately, it doesn't hold up too well. The controls are a little bit delayed, and you know, everything seems quite delayed. But it's still was a fun game for its time. It just doesn't hold up as well. The game isn't there, don't worry. If you're gonna play a true crime game, I recommend playing New York City rather than Streets of LA. But Streets of LA was still a classic back in its day. Salt Lake 2002. Sorry if I've already shown these ones. Aqua 2. Wet Tricks. Puzzle game. Kind of looks like Rainbow Island. Beach King Stunt Racer. Sierra. I think I saw Sierra on there. No, not Sierra. Yeah. Looks like a arcade racer. My kind of racers. Black Hawk, Delta Force, Black Hawk Down, Team Saber. Dynasty Warriors 3. Of course, was more of the one. This one's often considered to be one of the more challenging Warriors games. They always are quite challenging at first, but once you level up and get more health and stuff, they become a lot easier. Eternal Quest. I hear this game is terrible. I hear this game is like impossible. Don't really know what kind of. I know it's an RPG of sorts, but I hear it's a very bad game. Spy Hunter 2. Also, I hear a pretty terrible game. It's kind of a shame because, you know, Spy Hunter is definitely a kind of game that could have been really good. 13, or X111. This game was absolutely fantastic. It had everything, you know. It was a first-person shooter. It had a film noir style, a comic book style, cel-shaded graphics. The campaign was great, but the multiplayer in this game was absolutely amazing, you know. And it's kind of weird because the GameCube version of this game, or it was either the GameCube or the Xbox version of this game, had instead of it having hunt mode, which is what the mode basically, there was a little like Grim Reaper that went around the map, and if you shoot him, he got smaller and smaller and smaller, and then disappeared and comes back. And if he walks into you, you die basically. But in the one of the versions, I think it's the original. I want to say original Xbox. It don't have that mode. It replaced that mode with a sort of squad kind of mode with classes, and it seemed like a cool idea, but in my opinion, hunt mode is just much better, or the hunt mode. But yeah, absolutely fantastic game. Very cheap game. Definitely pick it up if you can. Like I said, look, not even £1 there. Definitely worth picking it up. Really, really good game. If you've got someone else to play it with, and multiplayer, it has bots and things, so really worth checking this game out. Just an amazing, underrated game, and in my opinion, this could be one of the best first-person shooters on the PlayStation 2 that isn't, you know, realistic or anything. It's just you know, fun and really artistic as well. Pinball Fun. Looks like it's got like a anime theme to it going on there. GTR Touring. Last three here. iToy Groove. A dancing game with the iToy. It's weird to see U and PG on games. These are more for film rating, not game ratings. Some games do have them, and I don't really know why they went through the universe, that board, the BT, I think it's BTSC or something. I can't remember. Instead of the PEGI, swing away golf, and then obviously this is the European board kind of thing. But yeah, yeah. Swing away golf. And last in the series today, last game, we have Wild Arms 3. Another beloved RPG series by Ubisoft. Proof that Ubisoft, made fantastic games. They still do make good games. It's just often Ubisoft games often promise to be more. The Ubisoft are known for when their games are shown. When their games are shown off at, conventions like Watch Dogs and, Tom Clancy's Breakpoint and stuff, then they look really good. And then when the game comes out, they cut things out and the game doesn't do as well. The games are not bad or anything. They're enjoyable games, but they just often mislead people, which in its own right is pretty bad. But there we go, guys. We have fucking done it. I apologize for the swearing. I'm trying not to swear in my videos too much anymore. I've got to say that, the PS2 is just one of my all-time favorite consoles to collect for. With nearly 4,000 games worldwide, getting a full collection is it's not impossible, but it is very hard. It's on the rating of like A to A star level of completion. If you're gonna go for 5 stars. So if we went for a star rating of more stars, it's harder to get a full collection. PlayStation 2 is definitely a good 5 stars. If you're going for a full collection, when I say full collection, I mean every single game, at least, exclusive games kind of thing. So I'm not saying get like SmackDown versus Raw and then get the American version and the Japanese version. I don't mean like that. I mean get all the PAL games, then only the games that only came out in America that didn't come out in PAL territories, get them as well. And then all the games that in Japan that didn't come out in either territories, get them kind of thing. It's very hard to do. The PlayStation 1 was very hard to do in its own right, but the PS2 just blew it away with how many games there are. I have nearly 1,000 PlayStation 2 games, and fair enough, some of these games are digital on PlayStation 4, about 40 of them or so. There's not many on PlayStation 4, but at least Sony did try to continue the PS2 with the PS4, and will the PlayStation 5 announcement, will it be backwards compatible with all of the systems? If it is, then all of these PS2 games will be being played on the PS4 or something. I don't know. I don't play my PlayStation 2 every day or anything. Maybe once a week or something. A game session could be anywhere between a couple of minutes on each game and go to another game, or I could play a game and play it for hours. Depends on what I'm playing, really, but it's still a lot of fun to go through. And yeah, of course, more and more game reviews will be coming down the line. But I'll talk more about the PlayStation 2 in a separate video. And now that I've finally done this, I can sort all of these games out properly, maybe in the week sometime, and get them all into a more confined area and more consistency, rather than just all of these games just mixed in with each other. Much easier for me to pick up and find a game that I want to play, kind of thing. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, feel free to leave a like, and of course comment below. Let me know what you think of this collection. Is it a pretty good collection? I think it's pretty good, to be honest. Definitely up there with some of the bigger collections out there. And of course, I'm going to be playing Dreams tonight. I picked up Dreams last night on the digital. I had to get a digital, couldn't find it physical anywhere. So me and my partner are going to try it out tonight. We're probably not going to make our own stuff. I'm just going to try out some of the community creations and see what all the fuss is about. I've heard great things about it, so I'm looking forward to that. And of course, tomorrow night I'll probably be going back on a way out with my friend, and we should be finishing that. So anyway, guys, of course, feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and join the family. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Mixer at the Mad Kiger. I might be streaming tomorrow night, of course. So if I am, I'll let you know. And of course, guys, have a nice day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, and bye bye.